Welcome to the channel. So today we are going to discuss a very commonly asked SQL question which is based on the concept of self-join. So in this question we have to report all the consecutive available seats in the cinema. And then we have to return the result table ordered by seat ID in ascending order. And it is given that in the table consecutive seats, 1 means that seats are available and 0 means that seats are not available. So in the sample input table, so the table name is consecutive seats and we have two columns in this table. One is the seat ID and the other one is free. So for seat ID 1, we can see that the column free denotes 1. So that means this seat is available. So therefore seat ID 1 is available. For seat ID 2, it is shown 0. That means the seat ID 2 is unavailable. And for seat ID 3, 4 and 5, we can see 1 has been written here. That means 3, 4 and 5 are the available seats in the cinema. So if we see for the consecutive available seats, the consecutive available seats are only 3, 4 and 5. So therefore our output shows 3, 4 and 5 seat IDs. Now let's go to my SQL workbench and write a query to report the consecutive available seats in the cinema. So I have already imported my consecutive seats table and now I will just write my query to find the consecutive available seats in the cinema. So guys, to do this, I'll just make use of the self-join concept. So I'll just join my consecutive seats table to itself with different aliases. For example, for the first table, I'll use the alias as A, and for the second table, I'll use my alias as B. And then I'll join these two tables on a condition that the value of the seat ID column of my first table, the value of the seat ID column of my first table should be more or less than the value of the seat ID column of my second table, and both of them should be free. That means fun. Both of them should be available, or that those should be free. So I'll be using these, I'll be joining these tables on these conditions. So I'll quickly write my query here. I have to find seat ID. So I'll simply write my seat ID and I have to from consecutive seats table. Okay. And I'll just join the same table. So let's give this table as alias A and same table I'll be joining. So I'm just making use of self-join concept as B. I'll be joining it on one condition that, so my condition will be the absolute difference of my seat ID column. So A dot seat ID minus B dot seat ID should be equal to 1. Why 1? Because we are looking for consecutive seats. So here what we have done is to join the table on seat ID, since we said that our seat ID column of the first table should be more or less than the seat ID column of our second table. And to do this, we have used ABS operator. So where the difference of the values should be 1, since we are looking for the consecutive seat IDs. So this was the one condition. And the other condition is that both the seats should be available. So since we have done for the consecutive condition, also there is one thing that we had to find the available consecutive seats. So this condition is for the consecutive, to find the consecutive tables, and now both of the seats should be available. So A dot free should be 1 and B dot free should also be 1. Dot should be 1. I'll run this query now. There is some kind of error showing. It's not reading this table, so I'll simply change my table name to consecutive seats. So this, I'm just changing it, my table name here. Finish. So I'll have to rewrite my query again here. So select, I just wanted to find seat ID, okay, from consecutive seats. Since it was there was some separation here, so there was some issue with reading my table name. So I'll do consecutive seats. Sorry, A and B I did before, so let's do the same. A, B. I'll be joining it on A dot seat ID minus B dot seat ID. The absolute difference of this should be 1. So this is my condition for the consecutive seats, and also I'll make sure that my seats are available. So A dot free is equals to 1 and B dot free is equal to 1. At the last, we see that we have to do some order by clause. We have to order my result in the ascending order of seat ID. So at the last, I'll simply do order by seat ID. Okay, guys. So now I'll run the query and see the results. It shows that seat ID in the field is ambiguous. So in this case, I can just write A dot seat ID. Okay. Now I'll run my query and see the results. So I have got 3, 4, 4, 5. So 4 has been shown by twice. So I can just remove this using distinct operator and it will only give me the unique results. So in this case, I have got my answer. My consecutive seat IDs are 3, 4 and 5. So I'll quickly explain the solution once again here. What I did is I have just joined my consecutive seats table to itself. So that is, I just made use of self-join concept. So this joining has been happened on one condition, that my absolute difference of the seat ID from my first table and the seat ID of my second table is equal to 1, just to make sure that the seat IDs are consecutive. Now that means this condition is actually checking if the absolute difference between the seat ID values of two adjacent seats is equal to 1, indicating that the seats are adjacent, as I told that the seats are consecutive. And also we had to find only the available seats. So there we had to make sure that the seats are available for the first table and for the second table also. So we had do this using A dot free is equals to 1 and B dot free is equals to 1, and then at the last we just did the order by clause on the seat ID, just to make sure that our seat IDs are ordered in the ascending order. And since we wanted our seat ID column only, so this is the column that we only retrieved using the distinct operator, since we were getting some duplicate values. So in order to remove the duplicate values, we used the distinct function, and this is how we got our consecutive available seats in the cinema. So I hope the solution is helpful to you. Let's meet in the next video. Thank you.